Welcome to another segment of TVCA News. Today we'll be talking about the e-cigarette on the Greg Gutfeld show, where he had a doctor and he was verbally jousting with her about the potential dangers of the e-cigarette. So let's watch the segment on Greg's show.
Joining me now is the very brave Dr. Nina Radcliffe, a practicing physician, much like me. First off, I have to ask you, Dr. Radcliffe, you've written some from fairly critical pieces on e-cigs. Why do you hate them? That's like hating Santa Claus and babies and unicorns. They've done so much good.
Well, no, safer does not mean safe, and less dangerous does not mean not dangerous. And what I tell my patients when they ask me about it, would they rather jump off of a 100-foot building or a 50-foot building? The 50-foot one would probably be a little bit safer, but it's still not a good idea in the first place.
Well, if I used your metaphor, it'd be more like jumping off a 100-foot building and a 1-foot building.
I disagree.
Because there's no toxins. There's no toxins. There's no tar. And also, in terms of secondhand smoke, there's no combustible stuff coming out of the vapor, so you're not hurting anybody.
Well, no, disagree. And I do agree with you. There are less chemicals. There are less toxins. But again, it doesn't mean that it's safe for you to use. And first of all, nicotine.
How do you know that?
We do know that because studies have shown.
What studies?
Now, lots of studies.
As you can tell, the doctor is obviously trying to spin the issue, because when she talks about studies but yet cannot name any studies, it is clear that there are plenty of studies out on e-cigarettes. And as Greg pointed out, he wanted her to give specifics on the studies, but she failed to do so. We're not stating that an e-cigarette is safe. We're stating that an e-cigarette is less harmful. To make a claim of safe, then at that point in time you would become a drug delivery device or a drug or a medicine. We're not trying to become a medicine or a drug delivery device. We're only making a product that is going to compete against conventional tobacco, which is the deadliest product on the planet.
It does contain nicotine, and we do know that nicotine is highly addictive and it's dangerous.
But wait a second. Okay, exercise is addictive, caffeine's addictive. That doesn't make it deadly. There are no cardiovascular risks from nicotine.
There is absolutely cardiovascular risk. First of all, it raises your heart rate by 5 to 10 beats per every minute. And if you're using it,
does exercise.
Yes, but it's in a different form or fashion. This is a chemical way of doing it. It increases your blood pressure and it causes vasoconstriction of your heart vessels. So somebody who already has plaques or atherosclerosis, now you're constricting and you're getting less oxygen to your heart. So I disagree with you completely. And we do have to sit there and say that nicotine is not a liquid by nature. What it is it's a solid. In order to be liquid,
right,
it has to be in a solvent. What they're using is propylene glycol, and that's used in antiperspirants. They're used in soap. It's used in cosmetics.
So they're safe.
As she is talking about nicotine is clearly not the issue. Nicotine, or any other ingredient for that matter, the toxicity of those ingredients are determined by the dosage. That for one. As far as her making a statement that the e-cigarette has other ingredients in the product is correct. There's 5 ingredients: water, glycol, glycerin, flavoring, and obviously nicotine. Nicotine is a natural occurring alkaloid. That product is 1 hydrogen away from caffeine. Caffeine and nicotine are virtually identical. That product, if you use it as directed, that product will absolutely have 0 risk of harm. Again, the dosage determines the toxicity of a product, and that is what we need to keep in mind.
I get the feeling that the negativity towards e-cigarettes is a feeling because it looks like smoking. It's like it's like there's this idea that it's confusing people. When you see somebody having an e-cigarette, it looks like a real cigarette, and that upsets them. It's like being mad at somebody drinking bottled water because it looks like vodka.
Well, the problem is that the popularity is growing faster than the medical knowledge is coming in. What we do know is that the secondhand smoke that is out there contains chromium. That's not even in regular traditional cigarettes. It contains...
You're kidding me. There's no research that shows secondhand smoke damage from an e-cig.
It absolutely does. There's lots of research. They've done it on mice. They show that there's...
On mice?
They've done it on mice.
I can tell you that when the doctor is talking about research, as Greg so accurately pointed out, associating water with vodka, we're trying to create a vapor category that ultimately has the potential to eliminate conventional tobacco altogether. She's talking about smoke. It's not smoke, it's vapor. And I can assure you that if a product is manufactured with the highest standards that we as an industry obviously focus on, then you should not have anything in that vapor but except for those ingredients that were in the product itself. And that is the real issue. She clearly stated that she doesn't have enough data because the industry is fairly young, but we have data. We have different vape tests that have been done, and the industry has done a lot themselves to provide this data. It just seems that Big Pharma, somehow, some way, as the doctor, is trying to stop this process from continuing to eliminate potentially, which is also a very big moneymaker for Big Pharma, which is all the drugs that either stop, cure, or mitigate the course of a disease from long-term tobacco use.
There is no secondhand
there
smoke.
Is absolutely.
There is none. There's no smoke. It's a vapor. Number one. And also this idea that you don't know. Once you find out it's safe, are you going to decide, you could come out and apologize and say it was a mistake?
I will be the first one, but I doubt I will be doing that. And this
There's
is
no
my
research.
concern, is that children, teenagers in Hawaii.
It's the kids.
It is the kids. It is absolutely about the kids.
Well, okay.
We have to protect them.
There is research that shows that that kids are using vaping devices,
Right.
but it's replacing tobacco. They're not seeing vaping go up and tobacco go up. They're seeing vaping go up and tobacco go down. Tell me you can't see that, but that is a benefit, that you're getting them off cigarettes and on vaping. And by the way, vaping is easier to get off than cigarettes. So you're getting them from something highly addictive to something less addictive to an opportunity to completely quit, which has happened to me.
So let's look at these issues. Obviously, we're not looking for people to make a choice of whether they continue or quit. This is a freedom of choice. Those individuals who like to smoke or but are looking for a less harmful alternative clearly have the ability to go to e-cigarettes. And Greg making a distinction between lowering your nicotine dependence is something that clearly would make it a drug delivery device. The biggest issue that we have today is that people have this misconception about e-cigarettes and that every single person is looking to quit with this product. That's clearly not the case. Some people like and enjoy vaping, and that is another segment that obviously has the right to choose. And that is what this particular category is all about, to provide the public with a product that's less harmful and has the ability to eliminate conventional tobacco simultaneously. And when you look at the one big issue that everybody seems to overlook, especially when the good doctor comes to Greg's show, this product was considered a medicine in 2009. How it got there, nobody knows. But at the end, it was a medicine because Big Pharma thought that potentially it would be a great product in their lineup and in their way of manufacturing it to where they could have another source of income. That is the reason why we have such an onslaught against the category. Thank you for watching TVCA News, and a special thanks obviously to Greg Gutfeld and the Courageous Doctor for actually discussing this category on his brand new show. We wish him all the best, and hopefully you'll tune in next time for another segment of TVCA News.